Today we're going to be making some Pommecythere Talkari flavored with Amchar masala, brown sugar, and of course scotch bonnet peppers, guys. So here are the ingredients for the Pommecythere Talkari, and pretty much this is the Pommecythere here. What I've done is I've got 3 Pommecythere here, and I didn't peel it. All I did was I washed it and I cut it up into wedges. You can see the size here. And to flavor all of that, to make the actual sort of spicy Talkari, we're going to be using, and we have here a couple tablespoons of Amchar masala. I don't know if you can see it here. We've got a teaspoon of salt, half of a medium onion. It's optional, you don't necessarily need to use the onion, sliced fairly thin. I've got 3 tablespoons of brown sugar here, about 3 cloves of garlic that I roughly crushed, as well as remember, this is going to be spicy, it's going to be hot, so I've got an entire habanero scotch bonnet pepper here that I've sliced very thinly. I left the seeds in because, again, I want this to be very spicy. So these are the main ingredients, and of course we're going to need some vegetable oil, a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil, as well as some water. I think we're going to use anywhere from 1 to 2 cups of water, simply because we're not going to pre-cook the Pommecythere before we actually make the Talkari. So on a fairly high heat, we're going to heat a sort of a deep saucepan, and to that we're going to add a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil. Next, what we're going to do is add the garlic and the onion once this is heated up. We're going to allow that to cook for a couple of minutes until it gets nice and soft. We're now going to add the scotch bonnet pepper. Remember, adding the scotch bonnet pepper, especially with the seeds, make sure you have your window or a vent fan on. It will become very stifling with the hot pepper. You can see the garlic and the onions are going sort of golden on the edges. That's a clear indication it was time to add the hot pepper. Just want to give this a quick 1 minute sort of heat through, just to get the oil and the pepper released. So I've allowed the pepper now to heat through a bit, and I tell you, it's kind of choking me here with a strong scent of pepper. The next step now is to add the pieces of Pommecythere directly to the mix. I had it soaking in water, if you're wondering how come it's making that noise. And then give it a stir. The next step now is to add the other ingredients, but first we're going to add the Amchar masala, as well as the salt. Give it a good stir. It may seem like a lot of Amchar masala, but I assure you it will cook down. Form a lovely sort of a sauce. We'll now add the brown sugar and just about everything that was on the plate. Give that again a good stir. And finally, what we're going to do is to allow this to cook down. Remember, we didn't pre-cook the pommecythere, so we're going to add some water. And I've got here, I think, about a cup and a half of water. Give that a good stir. Now what we want to do is bring that up to a boil and then put the lid on it and allow it to cook for about, excuse me, told you guys the pepper was strong. Bring that up to a boil, turn down the heat, sort of a rolling boil, or maybe between a boil and a simmer, and allow that to cook with the lid on the pot for about 30-35 minutes or so. So as you can see, it's up to a boil now. It's sort of a gentle boil, cross between a gentle boil, a rolling boil, and a simmer. And all I'm going to do here now is put the lid on there and allow that to cook until everything is tender and forms a nice thick sauce. So it's been cooking now for about 25 minutes or so. And as you can see, most of the liquid has gone down. It's forming a sort of a thick sauce. And the pommecythere itself is nice and tender. You can see the skin falling apart. What you may want to do is quickly check it for salt. If you get a sort of a sour taste, tart taste, add a tiny bit of salt and allow it to cook for a couple more minutes. But yeah, it takes anywhere from 25 minutes to half an hour or so. And there it is, guys. Pommecythere Talkari. Hope you guys try this one and enjoy it.